Hello friends and welcome to my new video. Over the last few years, Malayalam cinema has successfully managed to blur the lines between art cinema and commercial cinema. And what we get from Malayalam cinema today is good cinema or even better cinema. And continuing this trend of some wonderful films from Malayalam filmmakers, we have Mahesh Narayanan's new film, Malik. Malik is Mahesh's third collaboration with Fahad Faasil after successfully collaborating in Take Off and See You Soon, both great films in their own right. This is the third time Mahesh and Fahad come together. But I think this film is more of a challenge. It's more of a challenge as compared to the earlier two films because thematically and story-wise, the film is very close to classics such as Godfather and Nayakan. And for any filmmaker to live up to the lofty standards set by those movies is a huge, huge challenge. I, for one, was very apprehensive when I first saw the trailer of Malik because I didn't know whether Mahesh would be able to do justice tackling a subject like this. When he had such great movies which his film would be compared to. But all my apprehensions and doubts were removed when I started seeing the movie. The opening sequence, for instance, is a 13-minute long sequence, a single take sequence, a single shot, seamlessly executed. And it is a sequence which establishes the power and the position of the protagonist of the movie, Ali. And by the time, after those 13 and a half minutes, by the time we are into the first credit title, we know that we're in for a treat that is 2 hours and 42 minutes long. But the length doesn't matter because it's so engrossing and so gripping that we lose track of time when we're watching Malik. Malik is the story of a young man who grows up in the fictitious coastal town in Kerala, a fictitious town called Ramadapalli. And he grows up in that town as a young Muslim and ends up becoming a champion for his people, working all the time for their betterment. Most of the time he works against the law, but all the time he is working for their welfare, for their betterment. Ramadapalli, as we come to know, has two main communities, the Muslim communities and the Christian community. And Ali is a religiously tolerant man. He is a devout Muslim himself. He does his namaz 5 times a day, as it's shown in the movie. But he is equally tolerant of Christians. He overall believes in the goodness of human beings. That's what matters to him. His best friend in the movie, in fact, is David, a Christian. He ends up falling in love with David's sister Rosalind and marries her. And there is this wonderful sequence where he says that he wouldn't want to change her faith or convert her to Islam. He only wants his children to be brought up as Muslims. If there was ever an honesty about religious tolerance, it couldn't have been more clearly elaborated than that scene does in the movie. But Malik is more than just that. It's an epic saga. It's a saga about love, friendship, trust, betrayal, the divisiveness of religion, the ploys of politicians to divide people using religion. And it's also a story of human courage and humanity, all of which Ali stands for. He has friends in his journey, he has enemies in his journey, he has people who help him and stand by him, and he also has people who let him down. And how he deals with it is what forms the crux of the story. It's beautifully made by Mahesh Narayanan. I don't think I have sufficient words to describe how I felt after I finished watching Malik. because it is so grand in its scale, it is so epic in its proportions, that it is something that needs to be experienced and not discussed so much, really. I mean, to me, the experiences I have within me after watching Malik are more precious than I could express with any word or any sentence. Malik is an absolutely brilliant movie. Technically, it is, technically it is a superb film. Brilliant direction by Mahesh Narayanan, aided by some fantastic camera work by Sanu John Verghese. And there is a haunting background score which uplifts the movie. A background score by Sushim Shyam, who does a great job. There are songs as well, some nice hummable songs, but it's a background score by Sushim Shyam which is so haunting and absolutely captures the mood of the movie brilliantly. So technically, it is a fabulous movie. There are performances to write home about. We've been spoiled in 2021 with some fine performances, all through the year so far. And Malik is yet another glorious addition to that, whether it is the performance of Dilesh Prathan as Abu Bakr, the politician, or Jojo George as Anwar, the collector, who is sympathetic to Ali, or Vinay Fort, who puts in a magnificent performance as David, Ali's best friend. The performances are superb, absolutely brilliant. And what do I say about Nimisha Sajan? I mean, she's had performances like Nayata and The Great Indian Kitchen this year, and now she has Malik, where she plays Rosaline, the Christian wife of Ali. And I really don't know what to say when a performer has 3 such performances in one single year. We're just into 7 months of this year, and we've had The Great Indian Kitchen and Nayata, and now Malik from Nimisha Sajan. I mean, it's just absolutely unprecedented. I've never seen anyone's filmography have such performances in such a short span of time. She's absolutely magnificent. But of course, Malik, at the end of it all, belongs to Fahad Faasil. And I don't think there is any doubt amongst anyone that he is one of the finest actors in India today. Perhaps one of the best actors in the world, I would say, for the kind of cinema that he does. And when I had seen Joji earlier in the year, I had thought that nothing could get better than that. Fahad had sort of pinnacled and reached the top with his performance in Joji. And how wrong I was, because if ever he could outdo Joji, he's already done that with his performance as Ali in Malik. He is the true Malik of the film. He is absolutely brilliant. He's left me speechless with his performance. Right from a 21-year-old young man who's just started by smuggling perfumes across the sea, to the old, frail, at one level defeated, at one level still strong patriarch who stands for his people at the winter of his life like a wounded lion. Fahad is brilliant. He is absolutely mind-blowing. As I said, I don't have much more to say about Malik other than the fact that don't miss it. It's showing on Amazon Prime. Do see it for the performances of all the people mentioned, be it Dilesh Prathan or Vinay Fort or Nimisha Sajan and Jojo George, and of course see it for Fahad Faasil. It's a brilliant movie. It is definitely the best movie I have seen this year. It overtakes Joji in my list, and Malik is simply fantastic. Don't miss it. That's all for this week, and until the next time, bye for now.